All right, in this video, I'm going to show you all the new features of our integrated F&I menu system powered by F&I Express, how it works, and why it's awesome. So looking at precise price, first it's important to understand the difference between front end and back end gross in a car deal. Front end is the money that a dealership makes. That is the profit of what they sell the vehicle for versus what they own it for. And back end gross is what dealerships make when they sell protections like aftermarket maintenance contracts. Anything that is sold in the F&I finance and insurance office, that's a back end protection product aftermarket. So everything in the precise price workflow really above protections helps us determine that exact price of the vehicle to determine what the front end gross for a dealer is. How much money you have to put down, what's your interest rate, are you trading in a vehicle, what's the net trade-in value, are there rebates available, discounts, taxes, fees, etc. That's the price of the vehicle. The back end of the car deal, the aftermarkets, is powered all in this protections zone. And let's look at kind of where we came from to better understand what we have today. So before we had this integration with F&I Express, we had a menu that looked like this. This is a screenshot of an old precise price promo video. And you see that we have protections, names, and prices. And you could learn more about them. Now, kind of a minimalist interface, and yes, you could introduce customers to these protections and you could explain what they were, but the prices were fixed, and that poses problems because a maintenance agreement or a service contract have much different prices depending on the vehicle and depending on the length of the coverage. Furthermore, things like gap insurance generally aren't available on lease deals. So it was incorrect to present gap to every customer every time with the same price. Now, it is important to note that with this old interface and this old system, we still saw a noticeable increase in back-end gross for deals that originated from precise price, even with this less than perfect back-end protections menu. Why is that? Well, we believe that when a customer has the ability to express interest in or learn about back-end protections on their own before they are kind of introduced to them for the first time in the F&I office, they're warm to the idea. And so we saw that increase in gross, likely because they knew they were going to be pitched these things. They had some idea of what they were originally, and they weren't so taken aback when learning about them for the first time. Now what we've done is we've taken that a step further, and these products and protections are now VIN or vehicle specific and deal type specific. So I will only see the protections that are available for the vehicle that I'm structuring a deal on and the deal type that I have selected. Furthermore, the prices are accurate with regard to the selected coverage length that is available for that particular protection. So you can see here, maintenance, I can change from 60 to 84 months, and I'll get different prices for that coverage. So the customer has far more configuration options, much more data available. And then, as has always been the case, you can view more details on these products to learn more about them. And you can select them and add them to your deal, and we see the price adjust and everything kind of carries on this way. So this is a Volkswagen demo site. We're a Volkswagen Digital Retail approved provider. So we've got this little demo site set up. But you can see the VIN-specific F&I menu in action on a real customer site. Looking at Capo Mazda, for example, Capistrano Mazda. And you can see that obviously there's some amount of configuration enabled because you're seeing more images here. And these protections and products are different than what another dealer might offer. So let's look at the ease of configuration to really allow dealers to customize this tool and make it their own. So if you go into the back end, you'll see under our digital retail settings, we have a new tab for F&I. And here you've got your protection providers. So like Allstate, Ally, AUL, Crystal Fusion, these are example ones. And what we do with dealers, we say, who do you get your protections and products from? We will then load in all of the products and protections from those providers, these listed here as an example. And then we come in here and say, of those providers, which products do you offer? Oh, you don't offer Gap from Allstate, you only offer it from Ally? Cool. I'm going to disable Gap from Allstate and only show the Gap that you have available from Ally. Furthermore, I can adjust the prices that are shown. The prices we receive in the feed are the defaults from provider, typically like an MSRP, and those can be further adjusted. So I can actually list a price and say, I want to advertise the price as a fixed amount. I can mark up the default provider price by a percentage or by an amount. So, fix the price or increase the price by 10%. Okay. And the reason we do those markup values is because, remember, the prices can change based on the vehicle, based on the coverage length that is selected. So I might want to increase all of those different configurable protections by a margin of 10%. Furthermore, I can enter a description that is different from the defaults that are provided. To make this a turnkey solution, you don't need to provide your own descriptions for these products and protections. We'll give you some out of the box, but you have an opportunity to add your own flair. And then finally, you can upload custom media to remove the default icon that we use for the individual protections. And you can see that dealer has done this here. And that is F&I Express integration in a nutshell. The final thing I'll say about F&I Express, our partner, is that this company is really proving to be an industry leader in providing this type of data service. They power most of the best digital retailing tools in the industry, as well as they power different F&I menu providers. So even software that only exists in the F&I menu space, they will actually use F&I Express data to help power their menus. And why they are so great, and we've been happy working with them, is they provide these connections to Allstate, to Ally, etc., for 160 different protections providers and growing. And so all we need to know is which providers, and they will give us the protections, their prices, and we can kind of do the rest from there. So that is our new setup with F&I Express integration for penny perfect aftermarket products and protections that are specific to not only the vehicle you're structuring a deal for, but also the type of deal you're structuring for that vehicle.